One of the things that we often need to do in trigonometry is to add 2 pi to something that is already a fraction. And when you add fractions, what do you need to add fractions together? Well, you need common denominators. So it is very likely that we're going to have to take something like 3 pi over 4, and we're going to have to add 2 pi to it. So I need a way to make sure that 2 pi has the denominator of 4 under it. So let's look at how do we convert 2 pi to have all kinds of different denominators. So let's start with a denominator of 2. If I want 2 pi to have a denominator of 2, we're going to think of 2 pi as the fraction 2 pi over 1. Well, if I want to get a denominator of 2, then I need to multiply the bottom of this fraction by 2. And we should remember, whatever you do to the bottom of a fraction, you have to do to the top of a fraction. So we're going to multiply the top by 2 as well. Well, 2 times 2 is 4 pi, and 2 times 1 is 2. So 2 pi is equal to 4 pi over 2 with a denominator of 2. Let's try to give a common denominator of 3 for 2 pi. So we start with 2 pi over 1. Let's multiply the bottom by 3. Whatever you do to the bottom, you have to do to the top. 3 times 2 is 6. So 6 pi over 3 is the same as 2 pi, but with a denominator of 3. Now let's use the one that we used earlier, which was 4. Let's put a common denominator of 4 under our 2 pi. So again, we start with 2 pi over 1. I want the bottom to be a 4, so I multiply 1 by 4. Whatever I do to the bottom, I do to the top. So that gives me 8 pi over 4. And at this point, I'm hoping that you see a pattern. If I wanted a denominator of 2, I got 4 pi. A denominator of 3, 6 pi. A denominator of 4, 8 pi. How do I get the top if I know what the bottom is? Well, just double it, right? So what if I wanted a denominator of 5? Well, 5 times 2 is 10. So 10 pi over 5 is the same as 2 pi. What about a denominator of 6? 6 times 2 is 12. So 12 pi over 6 is a full circle of 2 pi. Why are we so interested in 2 pi? Remember, 2 pi is 360 degrees, or a full circle. So that's why we're really interested in 2 pi. And it really doesn't matter what denominator we want. We're just going to double that number, and that's what goes on the top, and this will be equal to 2 pi. So what if we had something crazy like 27? What if we needed a denominator of 27? Completely nutty. Well, it's not that hard. 27 times 2 is 54. So 54 pi over 27 is actually just 2 pi, 360 degrees, with a common denominator of 27. Now, let's use that in our example of taking 3 pi over 4 and adding 2 pi. Well, I know that 2 pi with a denominator of 4, 4 times 2 is 8, will be 8 pi over 4. And now how do I add fractions? I add across the top and I keep the denominators the same. So 3 pi's plus 8 pi's, that's 11 pi, and the denominator stays 4. And this is how we use 2 pi and make common denominators.